this answers the question. It says a rope is 100 units long, is cut into two parts. One part is 50 units. One part is 50 units longer than the other. Find the lengths of the two parts. And this is how we found the length of the two parts. Now here we have another word problem, because we want to cut a line, or we want to cut a 48 unit line into two parts, so that one part will be 8 units longer than the other. How long should the shorter part be? Now here the other question we're asking is find the length of a certain part, or find the length of two parts. They saying how long should the shorter part be. So the question also can be rephrased as how long is the shorter part. Okay. So we have first we're starting off with a 48 unit line. So we draw ourselves a line. Now here this is 48 units. We're going to say that represents 48. So we're going to divide it so that one part is 8 units longer than the other. Eight units longer, so it's going to be a little bit longer. So there's a larger part and a smaller part. Okay. Smaller part, here's a larger. The smaller part is what we're trying to find, so that's unknown. We're going to label that an X. The larger part is 8 units longer than the smaller part. Okay? So our equation here is 48 equals the larger part plus the smaller part, or x plus 8 plus x. And you get 48 equals 2x plus 8. Now we subtract 8 from both sides to get 40 equals 2x. And we divide both sides by 2. And then of course x equals 20. So we found, now the question on the axis is how long should the shorter part be? It did not ask us how big is the larger part. Of course we know it's 28, but now we can find the length. Now we know the answer to the question is x equals 20. Okay. Here, that's 20, and that's 20 plus 8, that's 28. So the larger part is 28, and the smaller part is 20. Okay, now, alright, a 68 unit rod is cut into two parts, so that one part is 3 times as long as the other. 3 means 3 times longer. So you're going to say, find the length of the larger part. So we got one rod cut into 2 parts. Okay, we know the length of one part relative to the other. We know that one part is 3 times longer than the other. Okay. 68 unit rod. Okay, so a 68 unit rod is cut into 2 parts. Okay, so we draw the line twice to represent it in 2 different ways. Okay, so one part is 3 times as long as the other. So it's only cut into 2 parts. Okay, one part is 3 times as long, so you can roughly represent that like that. Okay. Now find the length of the other part. Now one part is 3 times as long as the other. So that's 3x, or 3 times x, because the other part, the smaller part, is the unknown. And x means the unknown. Okay? We have 68 equals 3x, 3 times x plus x. Okay? Now remember, this is correct. If it said 3 times, it says 3 times as long as. So that's 3 times longer. It does not say 3 times longer. Or it doesn't say 3 units longer. Excuse me. If it said 3 units longer, you would have x plus 3. It's 3 units longer than x. Okay? But here we have 3 times as long as, so that's 3x instead of x plus 3. Now that becomes 68 equals 4x. And you get 68 over 4. You divide 4 by both sides. Okay? Now you can divide 68 by 4, or you can make it simpler for yourself. You can divide both sides. You can divide each part by 2. That's going to be 34 over 2. Then 34 divided by 2, that's going to give you 17. Okay? So that's x equals 17. Now you want to find the length of the larger part. Okay? So x is 17. So that's, the larger part is 3x, so it's going to be 3 times 17. Okay? 3 times 17. Now we multiply 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 2 is 5. So it's 51. If you check on the calculator, you can see if that's correct. It is. Okay, so that's 51. So the length of the larger part is 51 units. Okay, so the answer is 51 units. Is what we were trying to find.